Okay, this is going to be a product test using the pyrodlite system. We're going to run a complete test here using two different sets of igniters. First test is going to be using the easy lights, and the second test is going to be using simple predator igniters. In the firing field, we have two firing lines set up. The firing line in the front, I programmed one igniter per cue, and they're all predators. The second firing line is going to be all easy lights, one igniter per cue. We're also going to run a battery consumption test. We're going to turn these units on, start a stopwatch. At 15 minutes out, we'll begin firing the units. Okay, I went ahead and I armed all the units. I also did a continuity test, and everything is in the green. We now armed it, it's all in the red, ready to go, starting the stopwatch. In 15 minutes, we'll go ahead and start firing off the cues. We'll do the first one first. The first firing line is the predators. Then we'll do the second firing line, which are the easy firelights. In order to conserve the video length, I'm going to go ahead and shut the camera off. When I turn it on, it'll be roughly a little bit before 15 minutes of test time, and then we'll go ahead and conduct the test. Alright, we're now plus 15 minutes of standby time on the firing system. We're going to go ahead and run the test. First cue, 3, 2, 1, firing. Fired. Second cue, 3, 2, 1, fire. Fired. Third cue, 3, 2, 1, firing. Fourth cue, 3, 2, 1, fire. Fifth cue, 3, 2, 1, fire. Sixth cue, 3, 2, 1, fire. Sixth cue, failure. 7 cue, 3, 2, 1, fire. 8 cue, 3, 2, 1, fire. 9 cue, 3, 2, 1, fire. 10 cue, 3, 2, 1, fire. 11 cue, 3, 2, 1, fire. 12 cue, 3, 2, 1, fire. Go ahead and go to the second firing line, which is all the easy lights. Better made igniter, thicker gauge, and a wider track to put the fuse in. Firing the first cue, 3, 2, 1, firing. Fired. Second cue, 3, 2, 1, firing. Fired. Third cue, 3, 2, 1, fire. Fired. Fourth cue, 3, 2, 1, fire. Fifth cue, 3, 2, 1, fire. Sixth cue, 3, 2, 1, fire. 7 cue, 3, 2, 1, fire. 8 cue, 3, 2, 1, fire. 9 cue, 3, 2, 1, fire. 10 cue, 3, 2, 1, fire. 11 cue, 3, 2, 1, fire. 12 cue, 3, 2, 1, fire. So with the predators we had one failure, and the easy lights we had 0 failures. In order to rule out any possibility that it's my firing system that caused the 6th cue to fail ignition, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put an easy light igniter in and redo the test without changing batteries. Again, so far these systems have been on for 18 minutes and 15 seconds. Okay, now since we know that Q6 was bad, I exchanged the Predator with an easy light. The elapsed time is a little over 20 minutes now. We're going to go ahead and just fire this off in 3, 2, 1, firing. And that fired off. The difference between the Predator and the easy light, again, is I think the easy lights are a little bit better designed. The channel's thicker. It's easier to get the visco inside that channel. And also, when I do my my pre-tests on the igniters before I hook up the visco, take a look inside, and sometimes I can see that the actual nichrome bridge wire is pushed way up inside the housing, and sometimes what that means is when you put the visco in, even if it's a thin visco, there's a possibility that the visco will not make good contact on that nichrome bridge wire, so when it heats up it just won't reach that black powder core to set off the fuse. And it's also reassuring to know that the firing system is actually working properly. It's just a matter of finding the right combination that suits your needs. And the last test I have is, so far the elapsed time is 23 minutes. I'm just curious about how long I can push this system and have it still fire. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to keep that one cue that failed on the Predators. I'm going to allow that to continue to be in standby with the red light on, and I'll try it again at 45 seconds, or excuse me, 45 minutes, and then again in 1 hour. And that's going to be how long the batteries will last for. Okay, we have that Q6 that the Predator was hooked up to. We're now over 45 minutes with this on standby. Go ahead and fire it. 3, 2, 1, firing. Okay, so 45 minutes is no problem. Next test will run at 1 hour. Okay, we're now at 1 minute and 11, 12 seconds here. 13, 14. I'm going to go ahead and fire it off. 3, 2, 1, firing. So 1 hour was no problem for the unit on standby. The next test will go ahead and run at 2 hours. See what happens. I'll just keep doing this until we can no longer fire off a cue. Okay, we're now a little bit over 2 minutes. Excuse me, 2 hours and 18 seconds. I'm going to see if this works. Firing in 3, 2, 1, firing. So 2 hours on standby. Batteries are still fresh enough to fire, and I think we fired this one off a few times anyway, maybe 4 times. The next test we'll do at 3 hours and see if we can do that. Okay, we're now at 4 hours, sitting in the hot sun here with it on standby in the arm mode, and we're going to fire this off and see if there's still enough power. 3, 2, 1. Plenty of power. We'll go to 6 hours, just 2 more hours from now, and give it a test. Okay, we're now at 6 hours. I had time to cut the lawn, came back, and we'll see if it fires off after 6 hours of sitting in standby with the red light on, waiting to fire. 3, 2, 1, firing. That's ridiculous. I cannot believe that worked. At 6 hours, I couldn't recommend you ever doing this on a firing site. I'm not going to do any additional time tests, but I'll do distance testing using the same remote. And these are the easy lights that have the bigger channel. And I'll put one out in the front. I'll get in my vehicle. I'll set up the camera, and I'll take a drive. And we'll start out, now that the battery's wound down pretty low, to about a third of a mile, a half a mile, and I'll try to see how far I can get. The system is rated for 2,000 meters, but I've never tested it that far.